know, my makeup game has been so weak lately. Okay. Okay, just ignore her. Ignore her. So, that's not gonna work. Just keep it together, child. Keep it together. Let me start that again. Hi! I was still working on an intro. Welcome back. And if you're new around here, I am not Curtis Connor. Let me calm down. So, if you were to ask me what my favorite movie genre is, I don't think I'd be able to answer definitively. But movies that I gravitate towards more fall into the action or fantasy category more than anything else. But despite my preference for these hardcore, drug lord, mafia, Goodfellas, cops and robbers, Ocean 11, Spies, Bond, James Bond, Casablanca, Western Cowboy, ye motherfucking ha movies, I still have a very, very, very special place in my heart for children's movies. Like those OG films that I grew up on. And I still watch them to this day, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Fight me. Mostly because they're so fun to watch. They bring me a sense of nostalgia and comfort, and they're so pretty. And also because a lot of these movies have a lot of morals and messages that are still very much relevant to everyday life and life for me today. One of these kinds of movies, and the movie we will be discussing today, is Horton Hears a Who. So it's based on a book by the same name by the world-renowned author Theodore Seuss. Gezel, Giesel, Gezel, Bejel. I don't know how to pronounce it. AKA Dr. Seuss. I don't think he's actually a doctor. Oh, yes! It's just his pen name. He just chose Dr. Seuss, like doctor, in his pen name because his father expected him to become a doctor. That's so metal. We love it. So like Roald Dahl and Walt Disney and many other children's authors, Dr. Seuss's books and stories became legendary and they were made into films. One of these very popular Dr. Seuss books, besides The Grinch, was the 2008 movie Horton Hears a Who. That's what we're talking about today. So basically the plot of the movie is that Horton is an elephant. Everyone say hi to Horton. That's Horton. That's my Horton. Over there. Over there. You see him over there. Can't believe I didn't even give him a shout out. I mean, and who he is. This movie is actually why I called him Horton. Mostly because he looks like Horton. And also because this movie gives me a little boost. You'll see why. So Horton is an elephant who lives in a jungle. I don't think it's on Earth. I don't know. I think it's just in the Dr. Seuss universe. Because a lot of the plants and stuff in the movie don't look like from Earth. It's the Lorax, the Grinch, Hoover, all that stuff is based in this universe that Dr. Seuss created. So I think that's where this jungle is also. So he lives in this jungle and he has a class of younger animals that he teaches, and Horton himself is very free-spirited, very self-expressive, very comfortable with himself and who he is, and he kind of encourages his students to do the same. Anyway, one day Horton hears something on a little speck of dust, but no one really believes him because he's the only one who hears it. Anyway, he's right. He really did hear something on this little speck of dust, because there's actually a town called Whoville of people called Who's living on or in this speck. So he puts this speck on a dandelion. You see, these the plant itself that he carries the speck around on doesn't look like anything I've personally seen on Earth. I don't know, I'm not a botanicologist. What? A botanist? What? biologist. I don't know. I'll ask Hlubi. She does botany, doesn't she? Okay, that's an inside joke. So he puts the speck on the dandelion and manages to get in better contact with the mayor of this town, Mayor Ned McDodd, who explains to Horton that according to the town's scientists, if this little speck of dust doesn't get somewhere safe and protected and to a stable environment, that it could lead to disasters. So Horton takes it upon himself. He agrees to help them out and embarks on this journey to get the dandelion with the speck to a safe place, which he identifies as the top of this mountain. I forgot the name of the mountain. To the top of a mountain where it will be safe and out of reach of anyone, or safe from harm. So the movie seems simple enough, and it is on surface level, but watching it as a young adult, I picked up on a few more themes and points that I wouldn't have as a child, or maybe I did, but I just didn't recognize them or know how to identify them or name them, or I didn't realize that they'd be so relevant to life. So the first theme I want to talk about is the meaning of life. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, or I'm being too philosophical, but I personally found that Horton's journey to take this little town on the speck to somewhere safe is really kind of a metaphor for the journey of life. I know it's just, hear me out. Like I said, Horton leads a pretty good life. He's pretty content in this jungle where he is, but he doesn't think twice or too hard or too long about doing this for the people in this town. But then again, that's probably just part of Horton's character. I know it's weird. I'm talking about a fictional character, a talking elephant of all things, and I'm trying to personify them. But I mean, they personify him and stuff, so I'm going to talk about him as if he's a person. So that's probably part of his character. That's who Horton is. If someone asks him to do something, he does it, no questions asked. We love friends like that. But I think that this task gave him purpose. He was needed in a way that he's never been needed before, relied upon the way he's never been relied on before, depended on the way he's never been depended on before. So that those factors kind of give one a sense of purpose. I relate this to how you find purpose in life. You set goals for yourself and you attempt to achieve them. That's why when Horton lost the dandelion in that dandelion field, he was so distraught, because he had basically lost his purpose. He searched and searched and searched until he found his purpose again and returned to pursuing his goal. So I relate this to the journey of life, because life too is full of obstacles, like the way his journey was, and trials and tribulation. Even when you find your purpose in life, it's very difficult to stick to it. But if you're passionate enough and determined enough about it, nothing can stop you, like with Horton. Next, what I want to talk about is individuality and self-expression. Like I said, Horton is very self-expressive. He's very much himself. He's very comfortable in his own skin, and he only becomes self-conscious of this fact when it's pointed out by Miss Karen the kangaroo. I don't know her name, but she acts like a Karen, so I hereby christen her Miss Karen. She's got Karen Manira. So Karen appointed herself like the head of the community, telling people what they can or can't do, what is or isn't right, like just trying to police everyone and telling Horton and everyone else how to act. Like, but if you don't, and they forgive her in the end. Like, no, she had no reason and no right to be telling y'all what to do, but you're like, oh, it's just like who she is, you know. And again, that's probably just part of Horton's character, to be so forgiving of people, and the crowd forgave because they just follow anyone who speaks the loudest, and that crowd was literally sheep. So I think that's a commentary on how dumb mob mentality is and how important individuality is, or how important the promotion of individuality is. The mayor also faced this suppression of expression, if you'll pardon the rhyme there, from this Whoville council when he tried to explain to them that the town was in danger, but they didn't take him seriously, or they didn't want to listen to him because they didn't want to cause a fuss before this big town event. It can be hard to express yourself fully or enjoy yourself fully, especially when there's someone breathing down your neck, you know, just blaming you for existing. Or maybe you're just uncomfortable sharing who you are or sharing your passions with even your family members for fear that they wouldn't understand or they wouldn't be supportive, which was the case with the mayor's only son of 96 daughters, and then he had one son. Anyway, the mayor's son Jojo, he wasn't really sure how his family, or his father specifically, the mayor, would react to his passion for, I don't know, music, I guess, because he was meant to succeed his father, but he doesn't want to. He probably wants to do music. I don't know. They don't get too much into that. But Horton was passionate about his task, and the mayor was determined to save the town. So they were both too determined to be assuaged from their task, regardless of the judgment from others or the consequences of not conforming to social norms. You love to see it. And then lastly, I just want to talk about the most popular, or the actual moral of this story that they promote. The story is trying to promote. A person is a person, no matter how small. It's self-explanatory, but I just want to flesh it out a little by saying that the saying could apply to any marginalized group or person, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like, how old you are. These factors should never have an effect on the fact that you are deserving of love and respect, or at the very least, you are deserving of basic human decency and or rights. Period. All in all, this is a lovely movie. I adore it. After all this time, it's still amazing. Perfect for all ages. A bit of a tearjerker for me, but like, I get emotional for everything, so it's whatever. I still cry when I watch the Polar Express every year. Actually, I should talk about that movie. There's quite a bit one back there. But anyway, so that's just my thoughts on Horton Hears a Who. I think the main reason why I like this movie so much is because I've always found it annoying how in our younger years we're so like forced to conform and forced to be part of this one big unit, look alike, to all be like uniform. Like, I don't know in other countries, but in South Africa, a lot of the schools, you have to wear a uniform and you all look the same and your hair needs to be done the same. Like, there's not a chance that the high school I went to would let me walk around with my hair like this, and that's why I flat ironed my hair for my whole life. And then suddenly you leave high school and they like, okay, tell us who you are. And I'm like, bitch, I don't know. I've been spending 18 years of my life trying to suppress who I am and what it is that I like. That I don't even know what it is. I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what it is that I like. I don't even know what it is that I want to do, because I was forced to do and be and say and wear all these things my entire childhood, and now suddenly you want me to tell you who I am? Like, no. I think it's very important that people are allowed to be themselves. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're not bothering anybody, and you're not in anybody's way, you're not stopping anyone from being themselves, why shouldn't you be allowed to be yourself? You know, I think people should be allowed to express themselves no matter what it is they want to do. I will never understand being mad at someone for being themselves. That's why I named my homie Horton, and I put him in a place where I'll see him every day, so that it's just like a reminder to myself to always be myself and to always do things that'll make me happy and forge a path in life for myself, for my life. Even if it's gonna upset a few people that you're not conforming, that's how it gotta be. You know, as long as you're happy, everything else comes second and everything else will fall into place. And if not, you can deal with that because you are happy in who you are. If you like this video and you would like to see more like it, like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, no matter what kind of comment, because all feedback is good feedback. And I'll see you when I see you.